Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. Just really excited and thankful that you're tuning in. And so today's episode is going to be a great one. I just want to thank anyone and everyone where you're listening from anywhere in the world. I know we have quite a few people listening in different time zones, and so just really excited and thankful about that. Appreciate individuals contacting the vault at christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that email is christian@trustchristian.com for any consultations that you have. Individuals, we appreciate as well as families. The vault is a family trustee training program. Just really excited about that. So today's show is called I Have a Trust Now, What Do I Do? And I really wanted to speak on this topic because Trust Christian, I have a trust now. What do I do? It's like basically you asking for legal advice, financial advice. You might go get a financial advisor. So, what if you have more money than that financial advisor? Should they be managing your money? I ask people that question. But I want to start off with some good news talking about public and private. I think it's time, it's good to at the beginning of the episode allow people to come into the live stream and as well listen to the episode to get some good quality news that Christian gets, the Volk is, I should say, because there's a lot of information that comes across our table every single week, and it's very important for us to look at this content and see what the marketplace has to present. So we really think that it would be something important to present to the listening audience, which is some good situations, some news that we've come across, and things of that nature. So, peace, AUIG Davis. Appreciate you. Kenneth, appreciate you a lot for listening live. So, we're going to talk about the situation with. Recently, we saw a private contract be signed in the public, and we saw some public pundits talking about how this situation should be public. But let's look at this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a situation called Colin Kaepernick, who's been in the news for actually just won a lawsuit against the NFL, and it was privately settled. So let's just talk about this from a private perspective. First of all, there was a non-disclosure agreement that was signed to where the amount that was given is not disclosed. And so I really want to point out those points of true interest where you initially see what true privacy looks like. True privacy looks like a non-disclosure agreement when business dealings or talkings are beginning, getting ready to begin. And so not only was that signed from the beginning of the situation, or at least particularly the settlement, as well you see that in the respect that there is the amount that has been given hasn't been disclosed publicly. And that just lets you know that there's true power in privacy, arbitration, mediation, and I really do, think that that's very, very important. Be able to understand how to settle privately, and be able to manage disputes and things of that nature. And so I just wanted to share with you all the private element of what business looks like. I think I want to give some good news as well with. Some businesses that you all talk say, hey, I'm on the public side or I'm doing public things, and I just want to share some information I run across here. It's been about a week or so, and it's really good to know. So 57, it's like 50 startups in 2019 that VCs are looking at, which are called venture capitalists. This is the trends where uh, in our space, when you talk about trust, you talk about private equity, you talk about investments, these are the spaces that you would either want your children to get an education in, or you would be making it a point to invest in these things. Now, when we say VC, we're talking about people who traditionally have large amounts of capital, and this is what they're investing in. Uh, this website is called AdQuick, ADQICK, and it's the easier way to buy outdoor ads. Something so simple. I'm gonna tell you how he raised $3 million. I want to look for some of the bigger ones. They have some bigger investment capital projects. Here's another one. AppZen automatically audit expense reports. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. For $51 million, this individual has raised $51 million for creating something called AppZen, automatic audit expense reports. Look at some other ones for you, and let's see if I can get some ones that have good large lump sums of capital. All right, here we go. Atrium, Atrium. It's a new law firm and a tech startup in one, and they raised $75 million dollars doing that. So these are places once again that are high capital places. I'll give you a really good one here. It's called Bowery, Bowery, indoor farms and pesticide free food. He's raised $117 million. People say, well, how does he get this type of capital? I'll read to you once again. Bowery, you can read that he's doing indoor farms for pesticide free food. We'll do another one. Calm. I actually like this app. I don't want to promote this app, but I like this app. I'll tell you all that. CALM, and is a popular meditation app. And this guy's raised $28 million. I like the bigger triple digit. Here we go. Here's one. It's called Carta, CARTA, helping startups deal with out stock options. Once again, helping startups deal with out stock options. How many people even know what that is? Out stock options. And then this individual has raised $148 million for this project. Now, who knows how long it's taking him to raise that? But these are like tech startups that are being looked at right now, getting lots of capital. Here's one, Coda, CODA, the spreadsheet and document reinvented, $60 million. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. Uh-oh, I got a good one for you. Divvy, Divvy, a free expense report app for businesses, $302 million. What does it do? A free expense report app for businesses and automates reporting and helps companies manage online subscriptions and catch fraud. And this individual has raised $302 million. And once again, when individuals say, well, what is this? These are startups. So let's just take it as they started up in the past 3 to 5 years or less. $300 million. And so once again, the point that I'm sharing these right now is because these are startups that are getting capital, things that you say, oh, I want to start something, I want to do something major. Here you go. Ethos, ETHOS. This is a high-tech life insurance shopping website. Pretty sure it's a website. Ethos uses technology to simplify life insurance underwriting process, making it easier for Americans to get life insurance. This individual has raised $46 million for this project. All right, here we go. Fair, FAIRE, helping small retailers compete with Amazon, $116 million. So I just wanted to share with you all some of the news that we look into on this side. When people say, oh, why would I want to get into a venture like that? They've already raised a lot of capital. When they go public, if these companies do well, these are companies that are letting you know that VCs are looking at them, larger investors are looking at them. They're clearly, obviously have raised this much capital, so people are looking at them and giving them capital, which is really, really important. So, Guideline, the name of this is called Guideline, a smart way to do 401ks for small businesses, has raised $61 million. So, these are once again private funding deals. These are deals that you would want to be looking into when individuals say, "Oh, we want to be private." This is VC money, venture capital. That means it's private funds, private equity once again, and you all will be participating in it. Hims. Uh-oh, here's a good one. Hims, HIMS. Very personal products for men. $97 million. A wellness brand for men offering products for skin, hair loss, and sexual health. This, they also have a hers brand for women. But on the men's side, or at least they're reporting numbers that they've raised $97 million. So I think I went through quite a few. I'll do one more. Hippo, Health Tech Home Insurance. That's what it says. Excuse me, High Tech Home Insurance. She's raised $109 million. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, these are considered to be private funding deals. These are deals that, once again, they have non-disclosures in place, and it's just interesting that they even release their numbers public. Sometimes a lot of companies that take VC money don't even release their numbers public, but clearly they possibly may be shopping around to get more capital, or they're just happy to be featured. And interesting enough, good news. That's stuff that we look at the Vault as far as investments. A lot of people say, "Oh, what investments does Vault families look at?" I think that's always a good one to share is VC venture capital projects that are need capital. So thanks everybody for tuning in live. Choppa, Brambo, Honey Lamb, appreciate you all for tuning in live. And everybody else that hasn't said hello, but they're there. So we're gonna get into it today, which is I have a trust now. What do I do? And The vault always gets this question. I have a 98 number. What do I do? Oh, even recent of emails of oh, well, there's what is the question? The question was, I have a 98 number. It's offshore. I want to open up a foreign bank account. It's like, really? So I think that these are good questions that have been asked, and you just want to answer them all in a group setting. Why? Because otherwise you're paying for the consultation to get that type of private information to know how you're going to go open up a foreign bank account. That's not something that's ever going to be discussed in the public, but it does need to be addressed that when you're in trust, ladies and gentlemen, I can share with you the mentors that told me there's only two reasons why wealth isn't passed on. It's because A, the family or the people that manage the wealth, they didn't have a manual to pass along to the next generation so the next generation can look at what was done on paper. They can read it like a story, like step for step what decisions were made to grow the assets of the trust. The second one is the fact that the children don't want to go into it. The children haven't been groomed in the information, so they have no interest in uh, uh, they haven't been taught how to be a trustee. Trusteeship is something that's taught. So they haven't been in an environment to learn it. There you go. Thanks, Cassandra, for tuning live, and Amanda and Chief Justice Middleton and Crystal. Appreciate you. I have a trust now. What do I do? You get in trustee training. That's the easiest and first answer. Why? Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you getting a sold a trust by a lawyer? Think about it. They're not a teacher. They're just a lawyer. There you go. I mean, we all like lawyers, but they're not an educator in that respect. So once again, the two reasons why it's not passed on. Once again, there's no manual. It's not written down. Secondly, they don't have an interest in it. They don't have an interest in the legacy that's supposed to be preserved. So some people say, well, what more can I do? Get in a training program. I can let you all know, even when you get into the Vault Trustee training, there's still other training programs that you should want to be a part of. Why? Because as you grow your wealth, there's certain ones that allow you to be in that room because you're what's called a was it AUM? Yeah, AUM, assets under management. You're managing certain amount of assets, period. Amanda P, you can email us at christian@trustchristian.com. So interesting. So the four keys to wealth are protect, preserve, and grow. Grow's key. I have a trust now. What do I do? You grow the assets of the trust. That's your first job and duty as a trustee. Is to grow the assets of the trust. See, and what's so interesting is I got to this point in my mental and I knew I said, guess what? We're not talking about assets tonight. So it's no, well, what are the assets that we're growing? Or how do we start it without any assets? Because that's always the first question. I have a trust. Now what? Do I have to have assets? Well, a trust is set up for the benefit of the beneficiary. What do you have that's for the benefit of the beneficiary? An asset or a liability? Should be an asset. So what are those assets? Well, we're not talking about that today. I have a trust now. What do I do? You go back and read the entire document. You make sure you know the document. You know the laws that are governing it. You get in trustee training. You learn trust law. You start going and investing time as a trustee so you can know how to draft proper minutes if you're the trustee. So here's the kicker. If you're not the trustee, guess what? Then you give it to the institutions. The institutions are the banks. The banks are institutional trustees. So, okay, I met one earlier today and look forward to talking to him, but institutional trustee for sure. The bank is a trustee of the trust. It might have jurisdiction over a certain amount of assets, a certain percentage, and it may grow those assets. So now you have the bank working for the trust. So I have a trust now. What do I do? Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here is this is what you say. Well, why isn't well passed on? And these are the two reasons again. This is how you fix that problem. You have a successor trustee. Once again, I'll say it again. You have a successor trustee. Why? Why not? Could be the bank if you don't want to give it to your children that aren't responsible, or a person that you don't want to manage it. You can give it to the bank. You can give it. Hey, some people say they want a lawyer. I don't know. It's just, hey, you can give it to anybody that wants to be a trustee that you're feel like could be your successor. Your successor is supposed to be your success. So I have a trust now. What do I do? Here we go. I'll give you at least one gem tonight that the elder trustee mentorship would say is only because it keeps track of a trustee's mind. So like the only thing that you would have inside of this journal would be just that. It would just be trustee mindset. Like it would be lessons that you learn from growing the trust, dealing with particular people. Maybe you dedicate some time to being just to just conveying that mindset to the next generation when they come through the next day and they say, what do I need to learn? They can read a good story of the thought process behind decisions that were being made on a day-to-day basis. And so definitely those are encouraging things to be doing. Creating a diary for the trust, um, or for yourself as a trustee, I should say. But that's kind of how it works. I'm gonna go to some questions or comments. I thought that one may be able to express and imply the already created trust at birth, but one's own will change the role so as one could become a grantor or beneficiary. I would just say to that statement that, and then you kept writing further, leaving the state agents as trustees. I see these type of comments, ladies and gentlemen, and I would love to answer them more in a private setting. I think that would be the best way to answer that. This trustee training applied to a permanent citizen of the United States. Actually, I would say, here we go. I have a trust now. Here we go. I have a common law trust. Now, what do I do? I have a common law trust. Oh, wow. So, you hear these type of verbiage, and it's like just go to the IRS website. Do they see if they even acknowledge what you call that type of trust? They don't. So, but I would definitely say in this respect, it's definitely international. You want to say, okay, international trust. Being a permanent citizen, ladies and gentlemen, citizenship is allegiance, that type of deal. Like, you can change citizenship. Everyone knows that. You live in a very flexible environment nowadays. So, citizenship, I think, is something that uh, so when you deal with just it just depends on how you're operating, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't comment too much on that. Then I guess that's just the jurisdiction is important. Jurisdiction is everything. Outside of some other things that I think individuals should look into. Individuals say I have a trust now. What you should know what jurisdiction is supposed to have matters upheld in. I have a trust now. What do I do? Uh, you acquire a Black's Law dictionary. Okay, here we go. I have a trust now. What do I do? I read books about wealth building and trust. You put your focus on what you're in, and that means in education, the Vault and the Trustee Training Program is a continuing education program. As you have to have continuing education as a trustee, you're always growing. Thank you, Ahadi. I think that's how you say it. Don Shoot. Was it Don Shy? Bobby Dancy. Chopper, I would just say that's worth a consultation. That's great, Bobby Dancy, that you have a Black's Law dictionary. Oh, so let me see if I can play this for you all. I don't want to hold you all long. I want to just go ahead and do my best to present some quality information tonight to you all. Let's see if this actually plays on here for you all.
Good morning. Want to make a quick video. We got a online training webinar coming up on February 23rd, 24th. A lot of people have been calling me, emailing me, and I finally sat down and do it. I don't do it often. It's gonna be 2 days from 6 to 9.
So everybody, this is the vaults. Everybody asked about the forex trade. I'm so sorry I had to cut it off. It's low. Okay, somebody said it's low. Uh, okay, thanks for letting me know that. And so I appreciate that. So yes, I'm gonna play for you all once again a message for you all so you can hear someone we do, business with at the vault and really does the trading things. When we talk about grow the assets of the trust, knowing from a trader perspective how to grow. And so this is very critical. I know this is pretty much it, and then the episode's over, ladies and gentlemen, because what do? You get in a trustee training or you go ahead and you move forward with what you're going to do as far as being a trustee. And I highly, highly say trustee training, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you all for tuning in live. And as well, I'm going to go ahead and play right here for you all a partner that is going to be doing a training for Forex. And it's just trading overall, ladies and gentlemen, but quality trading content and focused on you. Once again, growing the family wealth from, he's going to say it all.
And I wanted to share because a lot of people email and ask questions. He said the market is being manipulated. Whatever I've been doing lately, and I've been blessed to do lately, is help a lot of people learn something that is not shared with us. And when I share it to you, it's gonna probably make you rethink how you even invest. Even the ones that may think they well educated, out of sat in room with hedges, they be surprised. What's going on that most people don't understand is that the 401k accounts you use and everything else is being manipulated. So, for instance, somebody like me that trades, I'm making money when the market go up or go down. But what I've learned, and I've been trading for a few years now, and I kept getting more educated, and getting around the right people, is that pretty much the bigger institutions use emotional fear to control everything. So what I'm going to teach people in the class and the people that I've already been teaching, which I'm pretty sure a lot of them will be in there, is that I can literally sit here at my house every day, look at this chart, and pretty much tell you what's going to go on for the whole week or maybe the whole month, sometimes the entire quarter or year. And by the time you get the reaction on the news, because news is created to drive a reaction, when you losing money, I'm making money. But I have studied this so much that it's to the point now that what I'm going to show you, a lot of people don't even know. So you can get your well-educated trader or whatever, they don't even know this. They may have strategies or try to sell you on quick gimmicks. It's not about the quick gimmicks. And you're going to be surprised that that's what I'm going to be doing in this webinar, is teaching people how they putting it right in your face, and you don't even know they put it in your face, and you pretty much know what's going on. And what I've learned is that this language is being used with everything. When I make that statement, people are like, I got to go learn to trade futures. I got to go learn how to buy stock. I got to learn how to go do binary options. I got to go learn how to do forex. Those are different avenues. That's more money. People want to charge you for each one of them. But when you really learn what I'm going to show you during the session, you're going to learn that. As a matter of fact, I go through it real fast, just give a quick preview of what we're going to be talking about. Like, this is an Amazon chart. When I look at this chart, I can flip and go to, you get a Dow Jones and the S&P and the NASDAQ. That's another different market. That's futures market. But what you're going to see in each one of these markets is that it's a pattern. So you might see me when I'm teaching, and I just do this for teaching purpose. I don't really need it, but it's a pattern going on. It's a pattern going on each different market that we're looking at. And I can scroll through it. It doesn't matter what I'm looking at. We can go to Forex. It's a pattern. I can pretty much tell you when the market's going to turn around or where it's probably going because they manipulate it right in our faces. So I don't use 401k. They make their money different. And also I'm going to touch on, after you make the money, how to set yourself up the correct way Even whether you trade or not, I'm gonna share the information with you because a lot of people don't know about trust. You may be running a business. You may be paying a lot of taxes back at the end of the year. It's ways to set yourself up and set your kids up for the future where you won't even have to deal with that. So we're gonna touch on that. I briefly wanted to share today because a lot of people have been emailing me, and I've got a lot of projects going on now, and I just wanted to give a rough draft on what's going on. But as you see, I just showed you 4 or 5 different markets. I pretty much don't got to go study these individually because they're doing the same thing. And a lot of people gonna look at this video, they're gonna try to figure it out. You're not gonna figure it out. It's not even shared. It's not on the internet. Your favorite trader probably don't know anything about it because the information was shared to me from a very high profile resource that doesn't even teach it. I was just blessed through somebody else to even learn it, and I just learned a little bit more from what he taught me and created my own. To where, like I said, I have literally got paid from hedge funds to come teach the Ivy League people this, and I want people to see because I'm having a blessful year. I'm gonna start back doing a lot of stuff back home. I'm gonna start up a lot of programs in this upcoming year back home to let people know my background, and I'm gonna give you my background. I went to Shelter State, didn't even finish the associate degree program. I don't know if you heard me. I just taught this to some Ivy Leagues. They went to Harvard, Yale. So what I'm trying to get people to see is it doesn't matter. Most people think because they well educated, they know everything. Sometimes you get too much public knowledge. I have had different conversations with lawyers, accountants, and sometimes they have too much public knowledge. Like I have lawyers that call me to try to get the trust knowledge that I have been exposed to because we are molded to go to school to get a job. And what I'm tired of really, it was sad for me. Last year, I had over 100 and some people call me last year that got laid off. And as you see, the economy was bad. So when these drops and falls happening that you seeing on the news, you losing your money. A lot of people lost money in their 401k. Now you laid off. You never invested in yourself in anything. So we're gonna talk about that also. I'm just gonna share from you because, like I said, I don't do this a whole lot. So I'm just sharing to you exactly what I want you to start wising up on because you got kids to think about. Don't think you protected because you're in your $80,000 to $100,000 job. You learn this, you may make $80,000 to $100,000 in the future in a couple weeks. That's realistic if you believe in yourself. Or you can think small. It's realistic where you can sit here at your house and in 30 minutes make $100. It's realistic. Not just me shooting a storytelling anybody. And I want everybody to know everybody's on an even playing field. So whether you was the top student in class or the bottom student in class, I have seen people that's making way more than the majority of people on their job that haven't even graduated high school, may have a GED, because it's all a mindset and you have to motivate yourself. This look real technical, but when I show it to you and you take the time to learn it, 100% of the people that took the time to learn it actually making money off of it. I will say that for a fact. So February 23rd and 24th, I'm gonna do it the whole weekend because, like I said, I'm gonna be very busy this year. I may try to do it every quarter, depending on how many people is in it. But I can tell you now, whether it's 5 or 500, who's ever in there, and everybody knows me, that's what I've been doing for years. I'm gonna help you. So whether you trading futures now, forex, trying to buy stocks, trying to get a little bit more information by setting your business up, we're gonna talk about it. So it's my little girl's birthday today. She told me to make a video, so I want to bless you with the video, let you know what's going on. Hope that answers some of your questions on what we're gonna be talking about. Hope it makes you wise up, because I'm tired of hearing people losing their jobs without a plan. And this is something that Like I said, depending on how much time you put into it, is how quick you can get started. So if you're not gonna treat it, and I tell you now, you won't waste my time because it's something that had to be. I'm gonna teach you, but you got to want to learn it. So it ain't. I'm gonna pick it up twice a week. It's something that you got to commit to every day. Because I committed to it for 8 months before I made a dime on it a few years ago, and it's pretty much set me up to now. My conversation is starting to go from 6 figure to 7 figure type conversation. So hope to see you guys on there. You can email info@chanelchase.com for the invoice. The course is gonna be $300. Hope to see you guys on there. Sorry if I am not getting to your emails as fast because I got a lot of different projects coming up. I got some stuff I'm trying to do with my foundation that I'm setting up. So hope to see you on the 23rd and 24th.
All right, awesome. Cool, everybody. Just want to thank y'all for tuning in and listening to this aspect of the show. That was Brother Cornell. And once again, it's info at Chanel, Chanel, Chase, Chase.com, info at Chanel Chase. And yeah, that's just a good brother that does the trading and wanted to share him with you all. I appreciate you all for being on the episode this live at 30 minutes in. It's always a blessing. And I appreciate that greatly to just, still have a great audience listening and on the back end, just having this much time. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Cornell. If you've listened to any past episodes, I think we did one about trading, like the trust account, or just one of those ones where it was like financing your business with Forex. I think that's one. It's called the Vault, financing your business with Forex or something like that. And so just you all can go and check that out. But at the end of the day, just really wanted to let you know, I have a trust now. What do I do? And what you do is just you learn how to trade possibly where you guys can have, like you say, $100,000 in 2 weeks and be able to go and invest in these companies for 60 million, 100 million. Because wow, who's investing with these 40 million, $60 million investments? High investment into one particular company, maybe $4 million, maybe $6 million, maybe $32 million. But the point is that there's investment going in, and you have that possibility. Like you said, it's a level playing field. I know that we play in capitalist, but capitalism is definitely a level playing field, and we just have to play the game. So I thank you all, appreciate you all. I know we did a little bit differently today, but appreciate you all greatly. Please feel free to share this with your friends. That's the biggest thing we can do is continue to spread the word so you can have these conversations with people about I have a trust now. What do I do? Are we looking at a trust? What do we do? These are the type of things that we look at. A lot of people think it's a trust fund, but we didn't talk about any money today. We talked about Cornell possibly helping you with that, growing that, or in the back end, just talking about the protection, and as well, really the true protection is through the preservation, and the preservation is through growth, and growth is how you're supposed to pass it along. So, really excited. Thank you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com, and that's going to be the email. If you even all want to email Christian at Trust Christian, you all can email Christian at Trust Christian and ask for the email for the trader session. It's a 2 day session, and you guys can get more details that way. So feel free to email. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day and have a blessed one. Talk.